Two helicopters. Clear sky. Sunday morning. 6 people dead.
So how does a mid-air collision happen above one of the world's most modern cities when both pilots followed every single rule?
Rio de Janeiro runs on helicopters. The mountains cut neighborhoods off from each other. The beaches stretch for miles. Flying over the city is faster than driving through it. Sightseeing operators circle Sugarloaf Mountain all day.
Private charters hop between the city and resort towns down the coast. The sky over Rio is not empty, it is working sky. And on the morning of June 14, 2026, 2 of those helicopters were up at the same time, above the same neighborhood, heading toward the same point in the air.
Neither pilot knew the other was there.
But here is what nobody is talking about. This crash was not unusual. It was inevitable. And the reason why tells you everything about how we manage the sky above our cities.
Oliver Tree had been in Brazil for days. He had just finished a run of shows in Sao Paulo. His tour was the biggest of his career.
70 concerts, 30 countries, 7 continents. His latest album had dropped 2 months earlier. Europe was weeks away on the schedule. He had been posting videos from Rio all weekend, playing soccer in a local neighborhood, smiling, alive.
Sunday morning, he boarded a Bell Jet Ranger with 4 other people: pilot Alexandre Souza, Brazilian music producer Lucas Frata, Argentine director Lucas Vignale, Argentine YouTuber Gaspi, 23 years old with 2.8 million followers. 5 people in one aircraft heading across Rio on a clear morning.
The second helicopter was an Aerospatiale Écureuil. 1 pilot, Charles Marciac, flying alone. Both aircraft had departed from different locations. Both were properly registered. Both followed standard procedures. And at exactly 8:59 in the morning, both arrived at the exact same point above Recreo dos Bandeirantes. Here is why this happens, and why it keeps happening. Small helicopters operating below controlled airspace do not have a ground controller managing the distance between them the way commercial jets do. There is no radar tracking their every move, no voice in their ear saying turn left, climb, watch your right. The system that keeps them apart is called see and avoid. Pilots are expected to scan the sky around them, spot other aircraft, and steer clear. That system works the overwhelming majority of the time. But when it breaks down in fractions of a second. A security camera nearby captured one of the helicopters losing control and falling. A tire shop worker on the ground watched one aircraft already burning as it descended. One witness reported seeing a passenger attempt to jump from one of the helicopters before it hit the ground. Both aircraft came down onto a car dealership below, 100 meters apart. The Jet Ranger hit first and exploded instantly. 20 cars caught fire, but not ordinary cars, electric vehicles. Lithium battery fires burn hotter than conventional fuel fires. They are harder to suppress. They release toxic smoke that spreads fast. The Écureuil came down inverted, landing gear pointing upward. Debris scattered across 100 meters. A tail section landed on the roof of a neighboring building. 45 emergency personnel responded. The fire was controlled by 10 in the morning. All 6 people aboard both helicopters were already gone. And then the investigation started, finding things nobody expected. Brazil's Accident Investigation Authority, CINIPA, deployed to the site immediately, alongside ANAC, the country's civil aviation regulator. Investigators began reviewing documentation for both aircraft and both pilots.
One early flag emerged. Reports indicate neither helicopter held the proper licensing to carry paying passengers as an air taxi operation. Whether either was functioning in that capacity that morning has not been confirmed.
Then a second flag. The owner of the Jet Ranger had received a fine from ANAC in 2025 after refusing to provide financial records to inspectors during a routine review. Investigators are working through security camera footage, flight records, physical wreckage, and eyewitness accounts. Pilot error, mechanical failure, and air traffic communication breakdown all remain open possibilities. A final report is months away. Here is what makes this crash different from most aviation disasters. Both helicopters followed the rules. Both filed proper documentation. Both departed legally. On a clear Sunday morning above one of the most modern cities in South America, every box was checked, and 6 people still died.
The system that separates helicopters in low-altitude airspace was designed for a different era, before cities like Rio had hundreds of private aircraft operating simultaneously, before sightseeing tours and private charters and music producer flights all shared the same sky at the same time with no one watching from below.
Rio State Deputy Claudio Caiado has already proposed a bill demanding greater transparency, monitoring, and sanctions for air operations in the state. Whether it passes is another question.
Oliver Tree was 32 years old. His last album was still fresh. His tour had dozens of shows left on the calendar. His father found out from a producer in Brazil who had been working with Oliver on new music.
On a morning when absolutely nothing felt dangerous, everything ended in a fraction of a second above a car dealership in southwest Rio.
The investigation is still open. The cause is still unknown. And the sky above Rio de Janeiro is still full of helicopters flying the same routes, following the same rules, relying on the same system that failed on June 14th.
When the official findings are released, this story deserves to be followed all the way to its conclusion.
Subscribe now so you do not miss the update when it comes.
And tell me in the comments, what do you remember most about Oliver Tree?